Hello and welcome back to Canadian Highlander versus. It's a new year. It's the same old format that we know and love, and we've got Kieran here to talk us through this match. Hey, Kieran.
Hey there.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We-
And happy new points list as well.
Oh yeah, new points list. I'm excited to talk to you about it. um, but before we get on to chatting points list changes, let's just intro these decks. So we've got James playing Art School and Jethro playing Abzan Delirium. Just to start off, I'll take the Abzan Delirium deck because it's super easy. It's Abzan Delirium, graveyard synergy, but just a load of creatures that are 2-for-1s. We've seen the deck before. Jethro is very good at piloting it. But that's pretty much it. That's Abzan Delirium. So, Kieran, tell us about Art School and why it's called that.
So this is sort of like a homebrew for James, I believe. Its main win con is Painted Server Grindstone. So we're probably going to name blue, target our opponent and mill them out. But there is also Labman and Jace Wielder of Mysteries, so we can also target ourselves, and if we've got those in play, win on the spot with those cards as well. Points for this deck. This was done before the points changes, so it was free. So Tinker, Ancient Tomb, Tolarian Academy, Manivault, and Sol Ring. It does have an Urza Saga in, so it is still only 10 points because Sol Ring was reduced. And what were the points on your deck?
Points here are Strip Mine for 1, Urza Saga for 1, Reanimate for 1, Mox Emerald for 3, Mox Jet for 3, Mox Pearl for 3, so that's 12 points. Jethro, what's going on? No, obviously we've got Reanimate and Urza Saga that have been introduced to give us to 12 points, but yeah, this was played pre-points update.
Yeah. And here we go. We've got a pretty quick start here. So we had a Mox Pearl start from Jethro, past the turn, into a Mana Vault start from James. So we already got a good amount of points on the board. James able to use that Mana Vault to actually spend the full 3 mana to get a Voltaic Key and a Cold Steel Heart out. So we're gonna untap on James's turn. He's going to be able to untap the Mana Vault with the Voltaic Key, and we've got loads of mana over there.
Yeah, that's pretty filthy. Hand's pretty
yeah.
empty though.
We do also have the Wilding Jar there as well as protection to keep all this fast mana available. Jethro just fetching up a Surveil land. Gonna see what we get off the Surveil.
Yeah, don't worry, Jethro. Just play your game. There's not that much interaction though, like instant speed interaction for Jethro, right?
No,
Like
I imagine
destruction
not.
stuff, it's going to be like, I don't know whether he's running Collective Oof and
We have got an Abrupt Decay at instant speed. Forces, Duresses.
Okay, so it's hand attack. There is no oof.
There is no oof, no. So we don't have a 1-card answer to James's deck. But then looking at James's deck, we also only have 3 instants. We have Brainstorm, Blue Suns, and what Weir of Invention. So probably not going to be playing a lot at instant speed here. It's going to be a sorcery speed type of game.
I'm going to respond to that. I'll get that one by marching the vault.
Alright, well, here's some interaction.
Okay.
Zalfirin Void. Yes. I'll leave that on top.
So yeah, well, I guess we didn't mention it, but Art School is because of Painter's Servant and Tolarian Academy, right? So that's the reason for the name. Just in case that wasn't clear. Pretty cool name.
Yeah. And pretty cool artwork on this Painted Servant in the top left. Unfortunately,
It's gorgeous.
It's not the one James has, so I think it's just the usual old boring Mirrodin one.
Yep.
So Mirrodin, is it Shadowmoor?
We'll find out if James casts it.
Yeah. So James not having as explosive a turn 2, just playing a Scryland.
Soul Ring.
Uh,
Ancient Tomb Academy. I'm going to sacrifice for some for this targeting business. Okay. It came true. Oh, yeah, this is already. Yeah.
The furnace isn't meant to exile your own stuff. What's going on?
it's not relevant in this matchup, so it's more
No.
just a delayed cantrip, which is fine.
Just draw a card.
It's the German swamp, snow-covered swamp.
Yep, good.
Ooh, bristly bud farmer. So that is a threat.
That is a very scary card. It wasn't limited anyway.
Yeah. And it's 4 mana 5/5, so it's above rate. It's got trample. It brings along 2 foods, and when you attack, you can sack a food to mill 3 cards and put a permanent from among them into your hand. Okay,
That's what I straight to the top with his offer invoice.
that's a pretty good answer to Bristlewood Farmer. A 1 ring, just laugh at you. I mean, actually, with the Bristlewood Farmer, you still get the attack trigger, so you can still sack a food.
Yeah,
to
just
look
not taking
permanent.
that 5 damage, right? But
Yeah.
I was gonna say, why is it an answer? I mean, I know it's powerful, but yeah, it's an answer in that it's a gain 5 life as well, because
Yeah.
for some reason the 1 ring gives you protection.
Yes, and this is probably the only other card I'd have liked to see pointed this time around, the 1 ring, just to make these artifacts decks actually have to make a decision on their actual point spread, because they reduced the one Soul Ring, but up to as a saga, so that the net game was
Okay, triggered.
0. They
Yeah.
just get to play the same old list as they did before.
And I think that one thing that I would say that's positive about this the whole points list change is that most people have been affected by it, and I think that is a good sign that by pointing a couple of cards, like it hurts everybody. So Urza's Saga is an obvious one that pretty much everybody was running, and now they've actually got to think about whether they want to make space for it.
Yeah. So Urza Saga being here, like you say, it was played in
speaking
a lot
of.
decks. White Plume Adventure was the white one. Reanimate was the black one. These cards were just sort of jammed into decks, not just because they were just so good at this point. And then, like they say, Minsk and Boo just being a difficult to answer planeswalker that acts as a rather quick game ender, getting pointed as well.
Yeah, that one was a really obvious one for me, having played against it just a few times. It's like, yeah. Oh my goodness, when Minsk and Boo comes down, I'm just like, right, do I scoop now, or do I wait 2 turns till I'm actually dead?
Do you scoop now, or do you take the 4 and then take the second 4 and let them draw 4 cards? Yeah, Minsk and Boo, what a card.
Right, so we've got an Urza Saga off a Malevolent Rumble.
Yep. Oh, just saw the hand there. There's a good old Mistress Factory there. So, not Mistress Factory, Mistress Workshop.
And here's the fly trap that we got from the farmer.
This, I'm going to assume it's got Delirium. It's whether it's got big Delirium, whether there's 6 in there.
Yeah.
Pass it over. I'm going to get 18.
It
So we
doesn't
just put
have 6.
So just 4 cards. 1 ring there.
Here comes the ring.
Okay. Drawing 3 cards.
With a key on
Giving
board
you a
as well.
whole turn.
Yep.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Got no mana open.
Uh-oh. You always have to be scared when somebody says, oh, there we go.
Right.
Oh dear. Right, so
And-
this is going to be the Paradox engine. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what, like, there's only 1 mana.
It doesn't matter. You've got a ring there. You cast any artifact spell that generates positive mana now, you just win.
But I was going to say James doesn't have many cards in hand, but the 1 ring. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Strap yourselves in. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going for a ride. And it's going to be a rocky ride.
So this is another card, Paradox Engine, that I believe should have been pointed. Just put it to 1 point. Just make the artifact decks have to pick and choose between their busted cards. Don't let them play all the cards. The ring should be up 4, right? Not 2 after that. I assume.
Yeah, I don't think he's.
Basically all colourless. This makes blue, this makes colourless.
Hopefully he fixes it. I mean, he's just
Yeah.
he's about to draw a heck of a lot of cards, right?
Total number? Paramount? Yeah. I do like this. Like, so, if it's green, it's coloured.
If it's green, it's coloured.
If it's blue,
Find a blue die. Come on. Yeah, done it.
There is a white die right next to us. Come on, let's use the white die for colour. Yeah.
that's also on 4.
So
Okay.
just on the conversation that you on what you've mentioned there, I think we've mentioned it before a few weeks back that it's your opinion that more cards should be pointed
I will draw.
Yes.
in general, and just add a few more cards to the list, just to make it a bit more difficult a deck building puzzle.
With Canadian Highlander, every single card is pretty much legal except for like
Enters.
the unstable cards, like the unglued cards and
Yeah.
These now make blue.
acorn cards or whatever they're called. So to actually pick and choose cards, if there's more cards pointed, you actually have to make more deck decisions. You don't just play the most powerful cards, and that's how I'd like to see the format played. I'd like actual deck
What am I casting? Brain
considerations to be taken, and not just I'm just going to jam 4 colours. The best 4 cards from all these colours are going into the deck.
I think I've got it now. Like, you're welcome to make
I think
That's
we're probably heading in that direction, right? As the format continues to evolve, I think it's still a relatively young format.
yeah. So I think a year ago I was playing just like green, and at this point, if I was to play that same list now, I think it's up to like 15 points.
Yeah, good.
And I'm all for that. I think that's great. I actually have to choose: do I want to play the Ancestral Recall and 2 points, or do I just play 10 1-pointed cards? And that's good. I think we have just seen James do the One Ring Paradox Engine thing, and
Jethro's had enough.
Jeffrey's had enough. You've drawn 7 cards, 6 cards, 5 cards, 4 cards, 3 cards,
It wasn't the right card.
and I don't have a response. And at that point, you've probably got infinite mana.
Yeah, I mean James
Paradox
was just
Engine.
going up on mana every time. Just enough cards to cast, and so it was just a case of waiting until you find the one of the self-mill things, or you just Blue Sun Zenith your opponent.
Well, we know he's also playing the Wielder of Mysteries and Labman, so you just play one of those and just continue to draw your deck with the ring and win.
Draw 2. Right.
I guess
So,
the risk is that if both of those are in the bottom
Draw 3. I had copy art
10,
to make another one ring.
when you trigger the One Ring and you have to draw.
But, like,
I'm sure there's ways of manipulating the
For
deck.
sure, for sure.
the one mana art.
By that point, you've got like 60 cards in hand, so I'm sure there's a way.
Dining Idol.
Yeah, I mean, looking through the list, there is an upheaval as well, so we could have gone through the upheaval route. We're just going to bounce all the permanents, then I'm going to redeploy it all again.
Hit 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you casting
There is Lord High Artificer, so you don't even have to worry about drawing your whole deck. You just start exiling all your deck instead. Yeah. Once you've got Paradox Engine and the ring, it's pretty silly.
Yeah, I mean, we'd both kind of switched off.
Yeah.
It was obvious that the win was there. We just needed to see it.
Yeah, there was a chance he missed, I suppose. There was a turn where there was only 1 mana available, and if it wasn't there, it wasn't there. But we got there.
We did.
That's game 1 goes to James.
Unfortunately for Jethro, in game 2, Jethro is having to mull down to 5, I believe.
That's gonna be an issue,
Which is
especially.
certainly not ideal.
Yeah. I did also see at least a Moxo Paul in James's hand, so we're continuing on the fast mana route.
and then picking those and that and that. I think. So it's probably just this. Also, this deck had guildless commons in it for a while, and I've no fucking clue why. It's a bounce land that makes colourless. Oh, okay. Are you untapping lands much? Nope. Don't really know why it was. A bit, ready? But like, yeah, with Academy.
Have you ever played an Academy deck?
Impending it.
Yeah, I tried it for a little bit. It felt pretty disgusting. It was back when I was playing Jesco Green,
It's definitely the best one.
so I preferred Jesco Green to it. I just had more
Right. Okay.
options available. I'm more a control mid-rangey player than
This went down to 4. Yes.
combo, but I do enjoy a good combo.
Yeah, I was gonna say I do describe you as a combo player, but you do like your control as well. That was a real good hit with that Overlord, by the way.
I missed it. What was it?
We got an Orcish Bowmasters to hand.
Okay, so that's gonna at least stop the one ring nonsense.
Yes.
If
Some
we go
of
down that
James's
route.
shenanigans get shut down by that card.
This is not a goblin.
Oh, ouch.
It hurts you? Yes. 17.
Again, another graveyard removal. Bogart exiles the graveyard. So it looks like Jeffro's deck's more equipped to answer graveyard decks, not quite as good at answering these fast mana artifact decks.
This thing.
I heard somebody referring to it as an egg deck.
This thing.
Is that just
Okay.
a load of little artifacts? Is that the idea of eggs?
So
Artifacts
eggs
that sacrifice themselves for cantrips.
So eggs are usually cheap artifacts that come in, sacrifice themselves, usually replace themselves straight away, draw a new card.
I see. Yeah.
Mishra's Bauble, good example. And then you want to play something like Face Reward and just bring everything back.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think I'd describe this more as eggs. I
This
think
isn't
is more
really
just-
eggs. It's a Tolarian Academy Paradox combo deck.
Yeah, I think when your Tinker goes and gets Paradox Engine, I think you're just a Paradox Engine deck at that point.
Yep. You've revealed your hand at that point. We
Yeah,
know
you can
we know
choose-
what you are.
You can choose whatever combo you put in the deck, whether it's like Narset and draw 7 spells and then you print draw nothing, or whether it's a Walking Ballista and you're just gonna make infinite mana.
Yeah, I
But
mean, I'm
they
kind
all-
of
they all come
disappointed that
back to-
James didn't just go and get Painter's Servant, because it's what the deck's called. So
Yeah, hopefully we see it in this game. We have last turn we did ramp up quite a bit. We got to play a Mox Opal and a Guardian Idol, so we're untapping with 5 mana.
Then we're going to come back. Yep. 2. 16.
So we'll see what James has got.
Thanks.
I mean, this is looking fairly menacing from Jethro, but it's still not particularly fast.
No.
Bodwin. Yes. Talisman. Yes. Memory jar.
I'm gonna empty my hand and play this spell.
This spell just so happens to refill my hand. Well,
It's
kind
a good
of.
job that Bowmaster is there. It means Jeffro probably can't tap out this turn, because if he taps out,
He just mills 7. Is that?
well, Memory Jar makes you exile your hand, draw 7 more. But if he taps out, James gets to spell bomb the Bowmasters back to hand and draw 7 and go off probably. Whilst that Bowmasters is there, it's kind of a threat.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. So if the spell bomb targets the Bowmasters, at least the Bowmasters can come back in.
Yeah, it can be recast.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think both of them. It's just a showdown at the moment. They're both looking at each other. They're like, who's going to blink first?
Yeah, we know what we want to do.
Okay, 40 is a nice one. Okay.
In response.
We're whirring in response to a thought seize.
So this is probably
I was never
Gonna-
that thing.
What do you think? What do you think James is getting here then?
you see, I'd love to get the One Ring,
Combo thingy.
but you don't get protection.
Something else. 'Cause most of my
But there's
things
a
are-
Bowmasters.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much doing it for as much as I can at 4. I think.
So X is 4.
Scrolling through the list now, I'm looking at the 4 drops. We've got Mystic Forge isn't the worst card. Fran Dynamo if you want more mana. Is there an answer to the ring?
Ooh.
I mean, that's
Metamorph.
yeah,
deals
that's
with the
pretty
Bowmasters.
gross.
And the memory jar.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great. This is great. Okay.
Bowmaster, your Bowmaster.
That is evil. That's the correct response. That's a I love that find from James there.
So,
Continue with your turn.
Bowmaster, your Bowmaster was quite popular in Modern for a while, and we're seeing it here in Canlander, and it feels just as brutal.
It's even, I mean, with a memory jar on board,
yeah.
Jethro's taking a lot of damage.
Yep, let me go to main step. Yep. Have a look. Yep.
Your board is about to get wiped away. I'm afraid, Jethro. I'm gonna. Was that a tinker off the top as well?
Ping, 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 ping. Was it really?
I think it was.
Yes. I'm going to crack. This doesn't cost any mana. No, I'm going to crack jar. I'm going to kill Overlord and Scavenging Ooze.
Memory jar is free.
So
You've already paid the mana.
7 pings. I think you just.
Kill
You know
the
what? I think
creatures
you
on
just go
board.
and skews and yeah, and
Yeah.
now you've got 9 points of damage.
Bauble. Yeah.
Okay,
That,
these
that
these
orc
weren't-
hits now. So, yeah, okay. Wow.
I set aside hand.
Yes. Exile face down.
Yes.
So it looks like the hit wasn't the best for James there. It looks like a few lands. There was a 4 monitor.
Monitor.
That's
So we're going to get a
cheap.
redraw. Looked like another land at least.
Very, very cheap 7-drop.
15.
Just draws 2 cards. Nothing good.
Or 9. No blocks.
1 mana draw 2, not good enough for you.
Yeah.
You need 3.
Oh,
I see how
I
it
need
is.
to draw 3, yeah. 1 mana draw 3, that's where I live.
And who cares about a 2/2 flying body?
Yeah.
No, yes, because I only had 2 islands when I word. Okay. Because I had to use a Mox April for it, so I have played on it. Okay. Which is a shame.
I like how Jethro's looking through his hand, like, all this is going into the bin.
You can discard a certain pointed card.
No, actually.
Okay.
I just can't. I can't win the game.
Oh, that's a shame.
James declaring, oh, I can't win. Oh dear.
And I have 5 lands. In
I
my
mean,
hand.
you're
I'm
quite
gonna
far
challenge
ahead
tomorrow on
at
your
this
economy.
point.
Yeah.
Otherwise it's
Right,
it's not
sure.
doing anything.
Okay.
Do I have any legends? No.
We're Ottawaing
Um,
an orc army.
and
Like I said, I saw the hand. There wasn't much. It is interesting. You could Ottawa your
I
own.
would discard 4 lands, including
Cards.
creatures, workshops, and some of those.
I'm going to discard a whole bunch of stuff.
Yep.
I don't know if there was a play there. Potentially
own
Ottawa.
full
That's
monitor.
already seen.
Splash isn't a big plant.
Yeah, draw more. Why not?
Go ahead.
So he passes the turn back to Jethro. He gets his hand back, discards the 7.
Still no. I was like, still no white swords in all of those. Would have been
I mean, to be fair, milling your opponent for 7 when your opponent's on Delirium is not the best idea, but I guess
No,
when you get to draw 7 at the same time, it's probably worth it.
When you get to draw 7, ping them for 7, and get an 8/8 from them.
Spring Heart and Toko looking real sad with no land drops.
Well, I believe this is probably just lethal, right? We just spellbomb that and attack.
Yeah.
Yep. Get back memory jar. Yes.
But we're
could
getting
do
the
that
memory jar
instead.
back instead.
Memory jar. Yes. P for 7.
Incredible.
Yeah, it was Tinker.
Oh, the flex. Wow. The one
It's
ring.
just like I can win in so many ways.
Well, there you go. We did not see Painter's Servant, sadly.
No,
But we
saw
did
an
see
Orcish
some
Bowmaster.
real shenanigans.
Orcish Bowmaster, the One Ring.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for joining me again, Kieran.
No
And
problem.
speak to you soon.
Bye.